Hi there everybody, it's UK independent Stampin' Up demonstrator Helzie here from slimandstylish.stampinup.net. Thank you for joining me today for a Case the Catalogue challenge. Today I'm going to grab the annual catalogue, open it up to a set that I have and case one of the demonstration cards that's with it. I will caveat that as demonstrators we do get sent a recipe card telling us how to make the cards that are in the catalogue, but I have not looked at them. So this is going to be completely just going from the picture and deciding what they've done and making the card to match. So let's get started. I will also add everything I use in the project today is available from my store www.slimandstylish.stampinup.net. Enjoy the project. For today's project, I have the Sending Smiles photopolymer stamp set and the coordinating dies. I've opened my catalogue up onto page 14, and this is where you can purchase the set from, but it does have Stampin' Up's 3 versions of the card. Now, if you didn't like these when you come to casing and you wanted to case something else, there is actually a gallery at the back as well, let me show you, where it has all of the bundles with all of the dies, and I can go along here to the Sending Smiles section and there is an additional card here. For today's project though, I am absolutely in love with this card here and I'm going to try to recreate it for you now. Okay, so let's get started. I'm just going to pop a picture there, but what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to pop the full picture on the screen for you, and you will then be able to see if I'm actually keeping true to what the picture is. Fingers crossed I do. Right, so to get started, what they've actually done is they have used this set here and they've punched it out or die cut it out 5 times. So I'm going to do myself 5 lots of this on this sheet so that I can run that through the die cutting machine. What they've done is they've done it in 2 separate colours. Now I'm assuming that this card is in a pink, but I wanted to play with the new Sweet Sorbet, which I love, and Mango Melody, which is always a winner for me. So I'm just going to pop these at the top here. Grab my scrap piece of card. And I'm starting with a darker colour and I'm going to sponge the bottom of this. Now you could use the Stampin' Right markers if you wanted to. I haven't because I don't have the Stampin' Right markers in the new in colours. So I haven't done it, but it's up to you. Just breathe on it to reactivate the ink and stamp it down. Okay, so you want to do 5 of these. Was it? I said 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, just ink it up. Oh, I didn't breathe on that to reactivate it. You can tell the difference when you don't do that, can't you? But it will still do. So again, keep inking. And now if you're sponging, and this is a thing I always forget, and I've done a lot of sponging recently, so if you're used to my channel and you usually watch, you know exactly what I'm going to say now. When you're sponging, you want to start with a lighter colour, being the first colour on your stamp. That way, when you actually use your lighter sponge, it's not going to get like corrupted in a way by the darker colour. But it's, for me, I keep forgetting it. And going with dark colour first and messing my sponges up. Don't be a me. Don't do that. Okay. So there's 5 of those. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab a piece of basic white cardstock. Now this isn't going to be the usual size I use. Usually I use a full size, but this is going to, I've got my Sweet Sorbet card base. So this is the full size of a sheet of cardstock, I think. 14.8 by 10.5. It should be. It's not. Okay. I thought I was doing good. All right. Let me rethink this. I'm not sure I've got any more sweet sorbet because I've cut them all up already. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually go off-piste and change it a little bit. That's the great thing about pasting. You don't always have to do the identical card, all right? So I'm going to cut this down so it's 14. So this is 10.2 centimetres. So I'm going to cut it so it's 14.5 centimetres. Okay, so then when I put it onto my card base, now what they've done is they've done a full sheet of A5 in the sweet sorbet. Like I said, I'd already cut my sweet sorbet down, so I don't have a full sheet of it. So I was going to just use it as a card layer, and I'm still going to use it as a card layer, but it's just going to have the white on the background like that. And as I said, I'm using a smaller piece of basic white, so I'm happy with the width of that, but I am just going to cut about 1 centimetre off the edge. And then I'll give you the measurement for it once I've just checked that I'm happy with how that's going to sit on the card. Probably 0.5 centimetre more off. Okay, so that's now 8 centimetres by 14 centimetres. Okay, so it's going to sit onto the cardstock like that. And then I have the coordinating DSP with a sweet sorbet. So this is a 6x6 sweet sorbet DSP. And I'm going to cut that. It's going to be less than 14 centimetres because this comes under that on the card. So I'm going to go to 12.5 centimetres. But I'm going to cut it a little bit wider. I'm going to cut it at 8.5 centimetres. Okay. And I am going to do sort of like that with it, so you get a bit of a background on it. Okay, and then it will look like it does on the thing, right? But what I want is just the base cardstock first. So what I'm going to do with that is I want, what do I want? I want this bit here. Now they've used the one with 2 on, so they've used this one. And they've used that in, let's have a look, an old olive type colour. Let me get a slightly smaller block, that's a bit too big. Now the benefit of being a demonstrator is I can actually go on to the demonstrator portal and I can get recipe cards for all of these projects that you see. Oh, old olive, you're a bit stuck. So all of these projects that you see us doing on our demonstrator portal, they actually give us recipe cards that tell you how to make them. I want to caveat that for these videos, I don't look at them because I think that's just miserable. I like to have the fun of making. So what I'm going to do here is I want 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of them across the bottom dark. So I'm just going to stamp it off slightly because I can see it's quite inky. 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to ink that up. I'm going to push this a lot harder than I did previously, so it's a lot lighter ink. And I'm just going to put that in the background there. As you can see, it's a lot lighter now. And I'm going up a little bit higher with these. Okay. And then what I'm going to do is exactly the same as what we did previously. Oh, look what I've just done. I've just put my finger in. This is a really stiff ink pad, that one, the old olive. Yeah, stiff. Right. lots of uses for a chamois right there, is I'm going to grab this piece back in that we used earlier. I'm going to bring back the Sweet Sorbet and the Mango Melody, and I'm going to ink this up again like we did previously. Activate it again like we did previously, but instead I'm going to ink it off there lightly, and then I'm going to very lightly stamp it on the card. Okay, so it's a very, very light shadow, and I'm going to do that on all of these light shadowy pieces. Okay, starting with the light, going to the dark, activate the ink, lightly stamp it off, lightly stamp it on the card. Light ink, dark ink. Oh, didn't quite get that perfect, but that doesn't matter by the look of it because they've done it so light on the card. Okay, so that's that. I'm going to run that, close those off so I don't get my fingers in them. And actually what I'm going to do is I'm just going to chop it just a slight bit smaller. I know you're thinking, gosh, it keeps going smaller and smaller with this, but I'm just going to take, because I'm not liking the end of it, I'm just going to take another ½ centimetre off there. That's a bit better. Now you can't see all the individual stems, which I quite like. Right. I'm going to grab my mini cut and emboss machine. And I'm going to be playing with the dies now. So the dies I want, there are 3 dies being used in this. So those are the sending, then you've got the sending shadow, and then you have got the die that is for sort of this foxglovey type bit. Okay, using the mini cut and emboss machine, so I just need to cut this down so it'll actually fit into it. There we go, that'll fit. So now I'm just going to run these through. I'm going to do the flowers first because I've actually got everything on the desk to go with those, and then I'm going to need to find some colours for the sentimental bits. Okay, so if you're using this tool, what you want to do is you don't want to put them all in straight. You'll see I'm not doing that. I'm going to put them all in with a little teensy tiny bit of an angle so that actually it feeds through, because these, it's a very tight wind on it, so you want to make sure that you build up to it rather than put it all through in one go. Okay, so there's the first one. Again, set your layering up so it actually goes through one at a time rather than all in one go. And through and back. So hopefully this card is showing you that even if you don't have the exact same products that are in the picture, so for instance, like I said, they've used a pink. I'm going to go with the fact they probably use polished pink. It looks more polished pink. I've chose it Sweet Sorbet. I haven't got the exact DSP that they use, but I've used the coordinating DSP to go with Sweet Sorbet. I've changed my colour scheme slightly. And also, I don't have this gorgeous twine that they've used. So this twine is the new In Colour twine. They look like they've done it through in Orchid Oasis, I want to say. And that they've done the sending in Orchid Oasis with what looks like Highland Heather underneath. I'm just going to go to my mystery little card box and see what scraps I've got in it and use that instead. Okay, so there's 4. So even if you look at the catalogue and you think, oh, I can't make that project because I haven't got all the stuff for it, there's no reason not to make it. You can just twiddle around and make a variance of it. Okay, so there is my 5th one. Okay, so like I said, I do have a scrap box of paper, and I normally cut it down so that it has, they're ready for paperbacks if needed. So I can pick any colour out of here, and I'm just noticing at the back I've got my Highland Heather there. And I am sure they've used Highland Heather for that shadow. I don't think it's Fresh Freesia, I think it's Highland Heather. Oh, look at that. This is what I mean, scraps, scraps, scraps. So if sending fits on there, which it's going to, then I can just run that through the machine. So let me whiz that off. Oh, I've just checked the actual sending rather than the shadow. So it's the shadow that's going to be going through on the Highland Heather. That fits as well anyway, so that's okay. Only just fits though. It's like it was made for it. Oh, I wonder if my video's just gone dark. It's just started to absolutely tip it down with rain outside, and it was lovely and sunny before, so I thought I won't put the main light on because I have a main daylight above the desk, but because it was so sunny I thought, you know what, that's just going to give a huge glare, so I won't put that on. And now it has gone really dark and it's tipping it down with rain, so I've done that one. I now want this one, and like I said, I think they used Orchid Oasis. I haven't got any already cut and chopped down, but I do have this bit here, which was a scrap bit that I spilt something on, so I'm good with using that. Let me just chop that bit off then. And I wonder if I can get the sending out of that bit, and if it'll be obvious that I'm using dodgy one. Achoo! Oh, now it started to rain. It's brought my hay fever out. Dear me. And so this is the actual word piece. This is what I mean. If you don't line it up quite as right as a sandwich, it's going to be harder to get through. So that's where it's better to have your variance and where everything is. So you can use your paper piercer on these little holes to get your sentiment out. Make sure you keep that little dot there from the eye, because you're going to want that. Okay, so before I go any further, I'm going to stick this onto the sending so it can be drying while we're continuing with everything else. And to do that, fine tip glue is probably one of the best. Gosh, it really is lashing it down. I'd say it's April showers going from sun to rain, but it's not April anymore, we're May. Delayed April showers, which are funny weather at the best of times in England anyway, so. Should have used my adhesive mat. I've got more glue on my paper than I have on my actual project there, which is annoying me, because if you tune in regularly, you know I'm a bit OCD when it comes to my grid paper, and it always being sort of, I don't like it getting dirty. Oh. Put a dot there so that I can put that little bit from the eye on. Always put the lid on your fine tip glue pen straight away, because it does dry up very, very quick. Right, sending, that can go up there to dry while we finish off the rest of the card. So let's have a look back at the picture. There's the base. There is this bit that's going to go on like that. In fact, let's adhere that on now. Oh, yeah, we all know I'm going to be using the floral side, really, don't we? It looks like they have used the In Colour DSP as well, in the colour that's on the base of the card, and that they've used the lined one, which was where I was going, but I actually really like the flower one. So, as I said, you can always change these to be applicable to how you want it. They've ran twine all the way around. As I said, I don't have this twine, but what I do have is a little box of other twines. So I'm going to grab the Smoky Slate twine instead and run that round, and they've put it all the way around the back of the white sheet by the look of it. And then tied it on the front, so I'm going to do that too. And then I'm going to just adhere the white sheet down. Onto the card like that. The bow for this is over on this side, so let's just pop the bow on. It's not as tight as I'd like it, so let's just pop it into a little knot. There we are. Then put it into a little bow. Then I can tidy the edges up. Then sending goes on there over the top of it like that. So I'm just going to need some dimensionals. I'm going to play with the mini dimensionals here. Just trying to look if they put any embellishments on. I can't see that they have, but I'm going to come back and have a look in a second. Finish popping the mini dimensionals on. Sorry, I'm not being very talkative, am I? It's a bit lame of me. I'm worrying about this rain. I've left my balcony window open. It's not going to do any harm because I've got loads of lettuces that grow on the balcony, and I've got my balcony boxes, and they could probably do with the water, so I'm all good with that. I'm thinking about my carpet. There we go. And then you're just going to stick these on top of the darker stems that are there. Stick them the right way up, Els. much. Just need my base card now, and I had a piece out, I thought, for this. I'm sure I had a piece earlier. There it is. It's on my desk under everything else I've used. So I'm just going to adhere this onto there. And short of the fact it's not on a full sheet back card of polished pink, I generally think that is pretty similar to the card in the catalogue. What do we reckon? Yeah? Oh, I forgot the rest of the sentiment. Good job we looked. I need sending smiles across the miles. Right. So I need smiles across the miles. That was me thinking it was all done. Now, what colour have they done that in? Orchid Oasis, by the look of it, because it matches whatever the is on the card, which is Orchid Oasis. Smiles across the miles. And let's just leave a little bit of a gap. And then what they've done is they've chopped it. I'm just going to grab my mini guillotine for ease on that. So we do actually have some tags that are in the die set for this, but it doesn't look like they've used those tags. They've instead just gone like that on the card. Smiles across the miles, a couple more mini dimensionals. I almost forgot that. It was a good job I brought the magazine back in to double check where we were. Sending smiles across the miles. There we go. Project cased. What do you think? Thanks everybody for joining me today. The catalogue, you can, if you want a copy of it, ask me and I will send you a copy. Everything I've used today is available from slimandstylish.stampingup.net. If you are going to shop with me, please do head over to my Instagram, which is @slimandstylish, and it will tell you what the most recent host code is. Pop that in when you place your order and you get a special gift from me. Or if you're thinking of spending over £99, message me and I'll tell you what the current joining deal is, because it will probably be beneficial to you. Thanks everybody, and I will see you again soon. Bye. I hope you've enjoyed today's project. All items that I have used on this video are available to purchase from my store, www.slimandstylish.stampingup.net. Alternatively, if you would like a copy of our catalogues, please send me an email to slimandstylish@live.co.uk or leave me a comment below and I'll get in touch with you. I upload regular content to this channel, so if you do enjoy watching my tutorials, please make sure that you have subscribed and rang the bell to get notifications when new videos go live. Thank you for joining me and have a lovely day.